Hey, Walter Sorrells back with another Knife Makers Friday 5. Today, I want you to be a crash test dummy. So today on this week's Knife Makers Friday 5, I'll mostly be talking about things that are upcoming around the shop and at Tactix Armory. Just quickly, I've just finished up a couple batches of new knives. I've got a bunch of Lunas and some Shadows and some Nightfalls. So anyway, check those out at tactixarmory.com if you're interested in picking one up. On that front, I'm trying something a little new. I joked up top about crash test dummies. What in creation am I talking about? Well, so check this out. This material right here is called Rich Light. I'm testing this out as a new material for handle scales. I'm not the first knife maker at all to use it. So I've made a whole bunch of Nightfalls, well, 4. I've made 4 Nightfalls with this particular color, this blue color, Rich Light. It's a micarta-like material that comes in a whole bunch of colors, and you know, like I said, I'm not the first knife maker by any means to use it, but it's the first time that I've used it, so I've made a bunch of knives for myself that I'm testing out. But what I also want to do is to put my knives in the hands of a bunch of you guys and let you test them out and see what you think of this material. So, you know, I'm hoping that a few of you guys will jump in and help. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 4 knives up on the website. Deep discount, I don't know, 75 bucks off or something like that. So I'll ship those to you with these handle scales and with the regular old micarta scales. So the idea is test them out, and all I'm asking is that if you like them, if you hate them, whatever, just shoot me a note and give me your thoughts about this material. You'll also get the regular old micarta handle scales. I don't have any sitting here, but you know, they'll look something like the ones on the Shadow. And if you don't like the Rich Light, then get rid of it, stick the micarta handles on it, and you got a regular old production Nightfall. So, hoping that some people will jump in there and help me out with this. I think it's a cool little project and a way of getting some of you guys involved in, you know, what we're doing around here. Okay, so next thing, some of you will probably recognize this little tool. Been working on this, kind of refining this idea for a little while now. This is a grinding tool that I've started producing lately. You know, there have been a lot of magnetic grinding gizmos that knife makers have used over the years, but I really think this is a pretty cool spin on this traditional idea. I'll tell you a little more about how it actually works in a minute, but let me first mention that this is not actually my design. I'm making it here, you know, using the CNC machine over there and all that. And so I've kind of refined the design, but the original design is from Andy Roy of Fiddleback Forge. You know, he kind of came up with this idea of the handle and the little micarta rod and so forth. And then Joey Berry worked on it at Pop's Knives and kind of tinkered with that basic design. And then I've tinkered with Joey's design, and this is the result. I guess you would call this a Tang tapering tool or jig, but there's a lot of other stuff you can do with it. The basic idea is you've got a handle here, you've got a base, there are magnets that are inset into this base, kind of hidden inside here, and then you have a little 1/4-inch micarta rod. I would say most folks use 1/4-inch holes in their tangs. Not everybody, but it's very common. And so there's a sort of friction fit here. So as this as you have different stock or different needs for the length of this thing, you can actually hammer it through and drive it down a little bit further. If some of it gets ground off, you can just keep driving it in. It's kind of a consumable, in other words. And so the idea is you just put that through that little rod through a 1/4-inch hole, and that keeps it on here. One of the difficulties of using magnetic holders was always that if it really grabbed hold, it'd just yank it off the holder and throw it on the floor, which is not cool. And that can't really happen to. So this allows you to stick this into whatever hole you want, so you can use a bunch of different configurations. You can put it through whatever hole you want, spin this around, and basically just configure it in any of a bunch of different ways. The most basic idea of this tool was for tapering tangs, so that you could put a whole bunch of pressure down here and grind one side of it, flip it over, and grind the other face, and that way you grind your tapers into the tang. The cool thing about this, though, there's a lot of other stuff you can do. It's a very common thing that you get, let's say, cold rolled steel. It's got a pretty good surface finish, but there is mill scale on it. You want to get rid of that mill scale. Conventional strategies for that would be to go over to a surface grinder like I've got sitting over there, or this AmeriBrade. You can put a surface grinder attachment on it, but that's always kind of a pain in the neck. And sometimes you'd like a little quick and easy fix, and so you can throw it on here, get that through, put on a surface conditioning belt or some kind of fine belt on here, boom, boom, flip it over, bam, bam, and you can take the scale off there and put a nice surface finish on here pretty easily. So anyway, I think there are just a ton of uses, potential uses for this little tool. And so you can pick them up at Pop's Knife Supply, test them out, see what you think of them. Again, I'm always interested in feedback from you guys, so if you get one of these things and test it out, let us know, let the guys at Pop's know, let me know what you think of it, and we can continue to refine it if there are further things that, are worth doing with it. All right, so what else is coming up on the channel? Let's see, we had a knife giveaway last month. That was something I'd never done before, but it was huge success, great response, and I really can't tell you guys how much I appreciate the response. Basic idea of the contest was I said, just sign up on Tactix Armory for our mailing list, our email list, and we'll just draw randomly from the folks who have just signed up and give them, give away a couple of free knives. The first one went to Jared Reeves of Louisville, Kentucky. He's getting a prototype of the Shadow 2, and I'm actually not sure who the second knife will go to. I pulled a name out of the hat, sent him an email, haven't heard from him yet, so if you got that email, get on the stick and send me your address, and I will send it to you, but I won't mention the name, because if he doesn't get back to me, then I will pull another name and let you know who that winner is in a subsequent Friday 5. But again, thanks to everybody who signed on for our email list at Tactix Armory. If you haven't done that, if you've gone to Tactix Armory and haven't signed up, now is a great opportunity to do that and kind of keep up with what we're doing at the shop here. Oh, and by the way, I had a bunch of really nice notes, heartfelt letters from folks who were, hoping to win the knife. And I felt it was only fair, as cool as these letters were, to just randomly draw. So that's what I did. I just put the list up on the screen, and I just scrolled through with my eyes closed, and then opened my eyes, and whatever the cursor was on when I opened my eyes, that's who got the knives. I'll probably do another contest, another couple in another month or so. Had a lot of good response for this, so I think it's a cool thing. I'll do it again. Next, I'm working on a new knife design right now. Should have that done in a couple of weeks. I've been doing pre-orders on the new knife designs that I've had coming out recently. People seem to like that, so I'll probably do the same thing again. I expect this should be a pretty popular design. The reason for that is that it's a pocket type design. It's a fixed blade, but the sheath's going to be made so that you can slide it down into your pocket. It's going to be a pretty slim, pretty small frame kind of knife. It is a fixed blade, but one that'll fit in your pocket. And I think that's a little niche that's gotten pretty popular recently. So looking forward to seeing how people like the new design. Details to come in the next couple of weeks. So a quick note about sharpness. Every time I talk about sharpness, people are interested. Some of my more popular videos over the years have to do with how to sharpen knives, or, how to test for sharpening, all these different things. Anyway, I don't think there's anybody who wouldn't like to have their knives be a little bit sharper. So This right here is a best tester. The basic idea is that this allows you to test how sharp your knife is. So I've gotten this recently, running it through some tests, and in the next couple of weeks I'm going to do a video on that, so keep your eyes peeled. It gives you a way of, I mean, it's easy to say, okay, I sharpen my knife, I can shave hair, I can cut pieces of newspaper, whatever it might be. There are a whole zillions of ways that you can test the sharpness of a knife that are kind of subjective. But this allows you to make an objective test so that you can repeat it time after time. And as you try different ways of sharpening knives, this lets you know whether you're on the right track or not. Last but not least, tools. So, you know, I've been making these videos for about 15 years, and one of the first things that I did when I started making videos on YouTube was I did a series called Tools for the Knife Maker. I eventually made a DVD of it that, you know, I give away to people who sign up on Patreon at a certain, you know, pledge level. And, you know, it's been 15 years since I put that video out. You know, my mind's changed on a lot of things about various tools that we use here in the knife maker's shop. I probably haven't changed my mind too much about drill bits or something, but no, actually I probably have changed my mind a lot on drill bits. So there are a lot of tools that we have here that my thinking's evolved about, and so I just want to update that whole series about tools. I'm going to redo the entire series. So I'll be talking about everything from simple things like drill bits to more complicated things like CNC machines. I don't think I even did one about CNC machines. You know, belt grinders. I've tried out a lot more belt grinders over the years. My thinking has definitely evolved on that. Not only that, but the technology of belt grinders has changed a lot. The technology of belts has changed since I did that series of videos. So I'm really interested in doing that. I'm eager to get started on that. And so over the next, you know, it's probably going to take me 3-4 months to get through the whole series, but that's going to be my big push over the next, probably well through the summer. So definitely looking for feedback on that series. Any thoughts that you guys have about particular tools or things you want more information about, shoot me an email and I will try to include that as that series evolves. All right, guys, so that about wraps it up. If you feel like being a crash test dummy and getting a knife at a deep discount, sign up and, you know, check out these handles and see what you think of them. Otherwise, thanks for watching and keep on making those knives. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe and make sure that you click on that bell so you get notified of all the latest videos. Want to buy a knife from me? Check out my modern blades at tactixarmory.com. Digging the channel? You can support our video making efforts on Patreon. You know, I've been banging away on these videos for like 10 years, so I hope you'll show some love for all that hard work. Link in the cards and descriptions. Finally, if you're interested in making Japanese swords, check out my full line of Japanese sword videos where I show how to forge Japanese swords as well as how to polish them and how to make fittings, handles, and scabbards. WalterSorrellsBlades.com.